So, what happened last time? We finished the trek through the tunnel in the Broken Veil Bluffs, emerging out the other side. Uh, you are but let's take it back a bit. Although I think we all remember why we are here. Uh, you have been tasked with a clandestine mission to go and infiltrate the Rockguard garrison and steal the Dwendalian Empire's battle plans to try and retake the Ashguard garrison. So, you found a secret tunnel through the Broken Veil Bluffs and have used that to emerge on the other side of the Ashkeeper Peaks in the Dwendalian Empire. So, emerging from the depths of the earth, you approach the growing light that is the end of this tunnel, and you feel a welcome breath of fresh air as you begin to emerge from the underground. Before you, it is midday. The sun is shining down on golden fields. You see this expansive valley laid before you, dotted with small lakes and ponds and farmsteads, a very fertile valley that opens up before you at a beautiful spring day. You are on the edge of a cliff face, about 50 feet up. And yeah, so that is where we are. I believe you all have some climbing supplies. So I'm not going to tell you what to do, but yeah, that's where we will pick up.
Humberto is just jumping off the cliff head first into the village.
Okay, so take
No, I'm just kidding.
5d6.
I'm gonna.
Talking about how you just took tough. I don't know if you're that tough.
Hey guys, you guys want to climb down this? Because I feel like that. Is there a path? So can I roll to see if there is a path? Like near a path
you
around
don't
us?
need to roll for this, so there is no. It is a pretty sheer drop. There is no path. You would have to use some kind of climbing implements, rope, etc. to
Okay, I have it.
here. But yeah, I believe you guys are pretty well stocked on that. You guys stocked up on some climbing supplies.
Did you say that it was a 50 foot drop?
Yes, it is 50 feet. You're roughly 50 feet from the bottom.
Yeah, I have rope and silk rope.
I have a pickaxe too, because I think I bought like the same thing Humberto bought.
Yeah,
So
you guys were pretty well stocked with climbing supplies. So what I'll say is, everybody make an athletics check with advantage.
With advantage, I got a 19.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. So yeah, so Humberto, you can lead the descent. You're putting the pins in and finding all the good holds.
With advantage.
Yep, with advantage. And yeah, I mean, you're fine. This is basically just make sure nobody rolls like a 1. Because with the climbing supplies that you guys have, as I said, you're pretty well outfitted. You're able to make the descent some easier than others. Surprisingly, Altias, with your Earth Genasi, you would think you would be a little more inclined to this activity. But you seem to struggle the most, actually, among the group. But
not an air genasi.
But yeah, the heights are maybe making you a little unnerved. But yeah, you guys are all able to descend without a problem. And yeah, Tygar, upon reaching the bottom, Tygar says, "Well, gentlemen, I think this is where we part ways. As I said, if you can find your way up to Shady Creek Run, fellas, I'd sure appreciate your help on getting my revenge. But until we meet again, take care and good luck." And he sets off. You see a little ways down the slope, continuing away from the bluffs. There is a road, and you see he goes to the road, and he stops and he looks to the right, to the left. He waves, and then he starts walking off, actually to the south, down this road, which is interesting because
Bye, Tygar.
you know Shady Creek Run is to the north. He'll get there eventually. So what would you like to do, gentlemen?
I think I want to clarify that we're not really trying to steal the plans. We're trying to copy them without them being noticed, being disturbed, and get out. Is that
Correct?
Okay? Cool. So I think I would turn to Ken, who I imagine knows his way around better than the rest of us. Seemed like he had a bit of a pre-life memory. And I kind of asked him, hey, what direction, what side is going to be the best way for us to get in, and maybe be able to blend with the crowd and get close to the lieutenant base or whatever, like the place that they'd be hiding these plans.
Can I roll, I guess, history to see if I remember anything that would help us?
Yeah, go ahead, and you can roll history or just raw intelligence. I think history is intelligence based anyway.
Ability check, normal. I got a 6.
So
I very confidently just point in a direction and say, I believe this is the way.
yeah, so you remember from the maps that you were shown in Urzen, from Battlemaster Hogak, that and based on where you guys traveled, that you probably do have to go to the north, kind of the opposite direction that from which Tygar walked. Also, you know Tygar's not going to the same place that you're going, so you should probably walk the other way that he went.
Okay, so that's kind of like the only direction that we can go, one or the other.
I mean, you can go any direction you want, but yeah. So there is a path that goes roughly north or south from your position. So where you guys are on the world map, you guys are kind of like right here.
Can I roll an investigation to make sure this is where we're going is all right?
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Survival, survival, and normal. Can't. Mer.
No, I mean, yeah, this seems right.
Okay.
Cool. All right, let's go.
So yeah.
Now wait, I have a question for you. How it seemed like we would be able to walk in there and not be completely like out of place. Did we put on any clothes?
Yes.
Did we...
So you guys did find. So at the end of the tunnel, there was kind of a supply drop, and there was an anonymous note left there by somebody saying that hopefully you find these supplies useful. There were some
Lederhosen?
Yeah, there were some Lederhosens. There were some enough garb for you guys to kind of cobble something together that would make you blend in more with the Empire. And based on Ken's flashback and his epiphany moment, knowing the culture in the Empire that none of you have experienced, other except than perhaps Tygar. You are all of a race that would be generally accepted within the Empire. Although you are more obscure races, it's not like you guys are drow elves or somebody that,
Okay.
or yeah, like.
I think I'm still. I have the
race.
hat of disguise on
Yep. Yeah, and yeah, you.
to cover up my like undead or clammy. So I cover up my clammy appearance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, so I mean, you're not you're not like decaying or anything like a zombie. So it would take some close scrutiny to discern your undead nature. You certainly don't look like flush and full of life. Yeah, you do look a little pale.
So I make myself like a full-on noble, like just it's like what's the word I'm looking for? Obstinate or it's I want to be like peacocking, like a peacocking noble out and about the town. Like it kind of does the opposite of like it's like damn, look at that dude with the chiseled jaw and the beautiful robes and
yeah. So you did put together a pretty formal outfit from the robes that you had found. You guys did find some kind of, and again, it was kind of like more traditional or formal wear than casual wear than what was in there. If you recall, it was more like what people think people wear in the Empire, sort of a thing, which would be kind of more formal wear, and that's why it was like a couple of lederhosens and some ruffled shirts and smocks and things like that.
I think Alteus wants to wear the lederhosen.
Yeah,
like, all right.
Yeah, I think everybody put on lederhosen
Okay.
in the last session. And there were
I have lederhosen with a cape, just to be clear, caperhosen.
There was also a hat of disguise in there. So Ken, in that chest, there was a ring of obscuring, the boots of Elvenkind, and a hat of disguise. Now I know Humberto is wearing the boots of Elvenkind.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is I have the hat of disguise on.
Okay, that's why I was.
And that's why I was saying I'm in such like a flamboyant, crazy outfit because I'm using it as a disguise. But
okay, that's
instead
why
of like disguising myself, I'm making myself look like
perfect,
full on flamboyant noble.
I got the ring of obscuring.
So that's what I was gonna just ask. Okay, perfect, awesome. So yeah, so you guys can begin your travel north here, and you don't see anyone on the road as you're traveling north here. It said it was about midday when you set out here. You pass a couple of small farmsteads along the way, but don't really encounter anyone. And as the sun begins to set, you can make yourselves comfortable with a roadside camp underneath the stars. It's a fairly balmy spring day. And we'll give you a long rest, provided there's nothing else you'd like to accomplish before settling down for the evening. Or you can, I'll leave it. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. You guys can march on through the night if you wish. But the evening does approach without event.
I am going to make an absurd amount of good berries. Just for the shit of it. I think at this point I just enjoy having an obnoxious amount of good berries.
Okay. Spend all your spell slots to make good berries?
Not all of them, but
wait. You could do that if we're getting a long rest. You could use all your spell slots and then get a long rest and get them all back.
And then have them for a day, yeah.
Yeah, I
and then
just
have
used
like
up
50 good berries.
I just used up 3 spell slots for good berries. So yeah.
So,
I plan on giving them to like every single beggar that or having the availability to give them to beggars and like other things.
okay.
Can I stealth into town and just while everyone's asleep and just kind of get a idea of where we're going?
So where you are, you're kind of on the open road. There isn't really a town here.
Okay.
You could perhaps sneak back to one of the small farmsteads that you pass along the way.
I'll probably not bother the
That would,
farmsteads.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
consume a lot of your evening, and I would say you wouldn't get the benefits of a full night's rest.
Yeah. I'll just go to sleep.
Okay.
If we're at farmsteads, because God forbid I roll wrong and get caught, and then we get hemmed up.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because if I see a religious symbol in there, I may end up killing these fucking farmers.
Yeah.
I think Altaeus pushes together like a pile of dirt. There's like, yes, perfect, and like lays in it. He clears
Dirt
he like
pillow.
clears a nice area on the ground, and then uses the area that he cleared next to the area where he put all the dirt. And is like, this is perfect, and just like does a dirt bath, like a
like
one of those little one of those little rodents that are like so soft and fuzzy that they have to take a bath in dirt, like really fine dirt. Chinchilla. I do like a chinchilla dirt bath.
I did not know chinchillas did that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So also you guys get the benefit of a long rest. Go ahead, hit that on your character sheets, get your spell slots back. The next day, you can have a breakfast of good berries and set out on your travels again.
Before we go, can I? Hey guys, I just want to apologize for my actions in the cave. I don't know what overtook me, and I apologize for trying to fight Ken, and I apologize for anyone I made uncomfortable.
I'll tell you, still like keeps his shield facing away from him because he puts his emblem on his shield. He's like, oh yeah, it's cool, man, it's cool. But like still doesn't show it to him.
What's the emblem on your shield?
I believe the shield would be the
symbol of the Moonweaver.
The bow. Yeah, the it starts with an S. Silesia or it's the Elven
Sahine.
Selenia, something like that. It's the moon and
the
lovers.
Right? Isn't it the Moonweaver?
I'll find it in a second.
Sahanine. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but
5E elf god.
I'm pretty sure it's the Moonweaver.
Sehanine, yeah, moonbow.
Yeah.
Lunar lady, blah blah blah.
So you put that on your shield?
Yes.
Okay.
Does he attack it?
Yeah, so Humberto, you have an overwhelming urge to destroy it.
What can I roll
to destroy it?
Is there anything I can roll to stop my?
No. You want to
make a wisdom save or something?
Roll an attack.
Roll an attack. Dagger. I'm clicking it. Piercing. Why is it not letting me do it? Do I got to attack from my? Because it gave me the option for target. So here it is. Dagger. Boom. Oh, here it goes. Attack. Or normal. 14.
Roll damage.
I mean, what HP? I mean, AC does my shield have?
Exactly.
Normal public roll 5.
So you go to swing and reflexively, Altias, you throw your shield up in front of you.
Mhm.
And Humberto just starts slashing away at your shield, which is it's made of wood, right?
Yes.
So after several quick blows, Humberto is able to actually gouge the shield enough so that it mars the engraving that you carved in. At which point he then after sufficiently defacing it, he seems to have calmed down.
Guys, I don't know what happened. I know I keep telling you this. Also, just a newbie question. So my character is a dexterity attack because I know with my barbarian it's a strength. So for
Didn't have
future
to,
on,
but yeah.
if I increase my dexterity, it would be more attack damage.
Both to the attack and to the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
With the
So
finesse or a ranged weapon.
I apologize again, and I'm like, guys, I don't know what's wrong. Every time I see symbols, they just send me into rage, and I need help.
Dude, we just saw you fighting over the thing yesterday. I mean, isn't it pretty clear what you're fighting over?
I have no recollection of it happening. Like, I remember me attacking, but I don't know why.
Yeah, it's that thing you've got. It's that weird thing we got. Was it from goblins? Like, I forget.
What weird thing? Don't touch it.
Yeah. This thing, this weird thing right here, dude.
Just
I don't
embrace
know.
your cult.
I
Kev
don't
just
know
tries
what
to
you're talking
convince you
about.
to embrace the cult and become part of it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what weird thing you were talking about. I've had this since the beginning.
Nah, man. I don't think you have. I think
Yes, I have.
this is new, and you just fucking my shield, you son of a bitch. Dude, I'm half elf. Like, this is my heritage. Why are you trying to deny me my heritage?
I'll give you 10 gold to apologize.
Yeah, give me that fucking gold, you bitch.
It's okay, because I'm loaded from the previous all the shit we sold. So my gold drops from 134 to 124.
Well, I'm not loaded, so don't fuck with my symbols anymore, dude.
So
I
exchange
can't
for
listen.
10 gold.
I took it out of my inventory.
All right, I'll add it to yours.
I went from 0 gold to 10 gold.
All right.
I owe that guy in Erzin.
Yeah, you do.
If you guys have religious symbols, can you not put them around me? Because for some reason I go into a rage and I don't know why I attack, but I do. And I'm really trying my hardest not to. But it definitely has nothing to do with what I found. So I've had this the whole time, so leave me alone.
Sully, what's the effect of me not being able to display a symbol from both a cleric and a druid perspective? Because I'm pretty sure the cleric has to have it pretty much presented.
You don't need to have it like displayed. You do need to have it as a spellcasting focus. And it kind of depends on the spell. And for a druid, again, you have a different spellcasting focus. But it's not like you need to have. Like you can have like a holy symbol can be a number of things. It can be like a pendant, and it doesn't necessarily need to be visible. You know, as long as you have it on your person, you can use it as a spell casting focus. So it's
Okay.
like tucked into your.
So I'm
shirt
not
or
going to get out
something.
there and be like, aha, and then be
Yeah.
like, that's a cleric spell. You can't use it. That's not going to happen.
Ken, make me a religion check.
Also, can I carve something in the sand? I just want to carve something in the sand
Sure.
and see if anyone notices. I'm not going to say what it is until we see if people notice.
Sure.
Is it Calvin pissing on my
Can somebody make a text for me?
I'll do a perspective.
You roll up the
So Altaj, you have really high passive perception, so you're just gonna you'll see Humberto doing this. You won't
So
need
it's
to roll,
it's
because he's not really trying to
it's
hide it.
it's
when everyone's
basically
tired. So it's like 22 is my roll.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
yeah,
the-
you see it.
it's the amulet, and I'm gonna write help unless that's meta. If it's meta, then I'm not gonna do that because like Humberto kind of figured what's going on, but he doesn't want everyone else to know what's going on because the amulet is not really allowing him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I draw the amulet and I write help at the bottom. But if anyone were to ask me about it, I deny till I die. I didn't fucking do shit.
So Altaj, so you see him drawing this. And,
Okay. So what?
you have enough
What
perception here to pick up this is a cry
do
for
I
help.
see
Even though
the amulet now?
Do you see it now? I mean, Humberto, where is it? Isn't it just hanging on your neck?
Yeah, I'm wearing it, but it's tucked under my. Ever since they said something, because I'm in a hooded cloak and chainmail, I kind of have it tucked, and my arms are just sitting like on top of my shoulder. Like my arms are just sitting crossed over it
Yeah.
because
And
I don't.
Altash, you would
It's
recall
mine.
that Ken had sent this thing to a pocket dimension, and it did not seem to alleviate the symptoms. It did not remove whatever hold this item had on it. So simply removing it from his person would not
Won't
relieve
be enough.
Humberto of the effects.
So my goal is get it off him and destroy it. I don't know how easily I can do that from a he's wearing it under his clothes kind of thing. Like, can I like grab at like the chain or something and like try to pull it over his head? Can I do like a grappling check to kind of do it?
You may certainly try. Make contested strength checks.
All right. So I'm going to do athletics.
I guess would I do athletics as well?
No, this is.
You can do athletics or acrobatics. You're probably going to be acrobatics.
No.
Just raw? I rolled a 9. Fuck it.
Raw strength.
Raw
checks.
strength. So do I roll with? Is it a saving throw or with my modifier?
Raw strength checks. This is just you two wrestling over it.
All right. So
actually,
I already rolled.
I guess you can make it athletics. You can make it athletics.
Boom.
It's basically
Normal.
the same thing.
Oh boy.
Oh, actually, hey. Woohoo.
So, in a very awkward display, the druid and the rogue begin rolling in the dirt, fighting over this. Eventually, Altias, you are able to somehow weakly wrestle this amulet off of Humberto.
Okay. The next thing I do is am I doing this like turn-based? Can I use my bonus action to fire up Shillelagh and then try to smash it with my quarterstaff?
Sure, go ahead and roll damage on it.
Now, what is Humberto doing here? Am I going after him? Like, am I freaking out? I'm assuming I'm freaking out.
Yeah, you are unwilling to part with the amulet. You want to keep it within reach at all times.
Did it come up? Okay. Attack. 17.
That's
I
it
assume
to hit. No,
that
just
hits?
roll. Yeah. Just roll damage.
7.
So so it's like kind of loosely cobbled together. So with the shillelagh, which also is magical damage, you're able to actually smash this amulet. It was kind of loosely tied together, bone held together with hair, so it's not particularly sturdy. You are able to destroy it, to like so that it can't be worn. However, Humberto, you immediately run over and start gathering up the pieces and like shoving them in your pocket. The amulet is no longer functional, so you can no longer use the ability. However, you are still cursed.
Oh, shit.
You still wish to deface holy objects, and you wish to keep you still refuse to part with the shattered pieces of this amulet.
So am I at a point, because I'm overtaken, am I at a point where, with my intelligence, that I know I need a cleric and I can reach out for help?
I was literally going
Or
to ask. I was going to say, look, Ken, we need to get him to like a place like a church or.
Yeah, I would say that between all of you, particularly Altias with your magical background, and given what you just did, like realizing that, okay, physically destroying this was not enough, like especially seeing him like scamper over and like start picking up the pieces of this shattered relic, like you realize that there's something stronger at work here, something magical, and that it would require some sort of magic intervention.
Okay.
To
Sorry, the word scamper is a funny word.
This curse.
Shit. So do I have? I don't have any. That's a pretty powerful thing. Remove curse, right? I don't have access to that.
It's
when I hear you guys,
a certain level
when I hear
spell.
you guys, when you guys talk about it out loud, I'm like, what curse? What are you guys talking about? What is the god, Sully? What is his again?
The amulet, it is an amulet of Thara's Dune.
I go, Tharizdun would never lead me wrong. And I look over to you, and you know, in like a horror movie, when like
Dude.
you turn over and it's a haunted little kid and the violin string breaks, I look at you and my neck just goes. "Bah."
I'm like, dude, Tharizdun has only led you wrong. That is all that he has done so far.
Well,
All
it
other
would have had
religions
more
are a
abilities
lie.
if you hadn't broken it.
All other religions are a lie. Tharizdun is God.
And more curse. And more curse. He wrote fucking help in the ground. He's literally calling for help.
I never did that.
You're one step away from writing poetry and telling us nobody understands you.
Cut my wrist and black my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have after getting dressed up, I would say you guys would have cleaned off your emo makeup that you guys had put on in the cave.
Like, dude, it's one thing if Ken looks emo because he's got something wrong with him, but like, we can't all be emo.
And,
I'm just saying, earlier sessions, Ken mocked me for being emo and wanted to. Once he saw me do it, he did put dirt under his eyes.
And, Ken, can you make me a religion check as well?
I just thought he thought I looked so good with my natural earthy tones that he put dirt under his eyes for that. I totally didn't know. I thought you guys were mimicking me.
No, I also want to put the remaining pieces of the amulet. I want to wrap it around the dagger, my dagger that I hold, because I do a dagger and a short sword.
Yeah.
I just want to wrap the pieces around my dagger with the remaining string and tuck it in my hilt so no one can get it from me.
Sure. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Also, so Ken, having recently had tapped into your deeper subconscious memories, you actually
all across the country.
you actually would see Altias carve this symbol of the Moonweaver into his shield. You would actually somehow in your subconscious recognize this and realize that this would not be well accepted in the Empire and is not something that should be displayed if you guys want to go unnoticed. The Moonweaver is not one of the accepted deities within the Empire.
Okay. Good thing
Yeah.
Good thing you attacked it.
He rolled real high on that.
Yeah.
That could have been really bad.
Can I tuck that like
and
into
also
my pack or
he
something?
imparts that, yeah. So Humberto had already defaced it to a pretty fair degree. So I'll say if you want, you can effectively remove it. You can mark up your shield enough so it just looks more battle worn, so that the carving of the symbol of the Moonweaver is.
I think I'm not going to try to deface it. I'm not going to like try to like ruin it, but I do think I'll try to weave in some like
so yeah,
grasses and stuff because I pictured it being almost like a woven like almost like a basket handle.
You can cover it up. Yeah, you could probably cover it up or maybe Druidcraft something. You have a Druidcraft cantrip, right?
I don't believe I have Druidcraft, but
okay. You know what you do have
mending.
as a mend. Yeah, as I say, you have mending. So I'll say you can use mending to kind of just make your shield look clean again without any carvings in it. So,
okay, sounds great.
So you have a clean shield again.
I think I draw the symbol on my wrist or something that's covered by my sleeve. I think I want to show respect to the deity. I feel like it's probably a bad omen to just like wishy-washy be like, oh yeah, I'm a follower. Then not so much, but I don't want to necessarily draw attention. And actually, I think Sehanine is kind of a sneaky god in some ways. Like they're not like the most straightforwards. They're kind of like lovers that sneak off and shit like that.
There are worshippers with a 19 on that, and he would impart this knowledge. There are worshippers of the Moonweaver in the Empire. They just do it in secret. It's just not one of the accepted deities. So especially for the mission you guys are on, you probably wouldn't want to draw attention like that to yourselves.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So do you guys wish to embark?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready.
So again, the weather here is very pleasant. This is a far cry from the swamps that you guys have been trudging through thus far on your journey, or the dark cave that you just came through. So this is a pleasant respite to be traveling in the open air, the warm sun, and without any real sense of danger closing in on you.
Sully, would we know if the lizard people are on both sides of the border, or are they just on one?
They are just in the swamp.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, so they're on the other side of the mountain. You guys are in the Dwendalian Empire, and yeah, again, particularly, and actually, at this point, you guys actually would pass a small patrol of soldiers as you get closer to the Rockguard garrison. There's a small contingent of soldiers. They don't seem to pay you much mind. They just kind of nod and go about their way, as you do look like general citizens of the Empire. And so this area in particular is fairly well patrolled, being near the border and between the garrisons that kind of guard the Empire from the dynasty. So any sort of goblinoids or anything like that would typically be pretty quickly confronted in this area. So it is relatively safe. So after another day's travel, towards the end of this day, you actually do see, as you approach the Ashkeeper Peaks again, you do begin to see in the distance the walls of the Rockguard garrison.
Woohoo!
And as you approach, I assume you actually. What do you do? Do you approach the gate? Do you camp outside? What do you do?
Yeah.
We're outside a fort.
So you are approaching the Rockguard garrison, which is
Okay.
it is a fort built into the mountain range here, separating the dynasty from the Empire.
So it's like straight up a fort. It's not like, oh, here's a town and then there's a.
It is a fortified town. It is like a large military encampment.
So one of the things that I think I would have talked to our party about leading up to this was
It has
my
a
plan to
population of
use.
like thousands of people.
Oh, okay, lots of people. Okay, is my plan to use pass without trace when we need it. That gives us an hour of kind of sneaking around and improves our chances. But I don't want to waste it. It's something that I can use, but I don't want to waste it. So I don't think this is the time that we need it necessarily. What do you guys think?
All right. So from Humberto's background with being a thief and a sneak, I think we should save it until we get into the actual fortress. So that, yeah, I would say, guys, I think we should. I'll tell you this: we should save that until we get into the actual fortress. But at the same time, if we get caught outside of this large military encampment, we will be overwhelmed and killed.
Okay.
So this is entirely up to you.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna save it.
So you guys just approach the gate and try to gain entry.
Who's our
Do
face?
we have? Yeah,
Do
I
we
was
have
gonna
a
say.
face?
Do we have any? Is this encampment like like you know how some forts in like bigger military installations are like small towns?
Mm-hmm.
Is this like a small town kind of thing, or is this like oh, okay, then we're gonna I'll lead first and we'll walk straight up.
Okay. So, Humberto leads. You all approach.
Yeah, sorry. So I'm leading us into the fort.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Do
Do I go up to this door?
Okay, so
I'm fucking clicking it. Oh shit.
it's locked.
It's not locked. I looked. I saw
It's locked
inside.
now. It's locked now. So as you approach the gate, a guard calls out. Says, "Halt! State your name and your business here at the Rock Guard Garrison.
So I'm gonna use deception, and let's see, deception, and I'm gonna say we're just weary travelers looking for a place to stay. I assume this is the only town in the area. We passed a lot of farms on the way, but not a lot of farmers were open to have us stay there. We're just passing through.
So go ahead and roll deception.
Ah!
Says, I'm sorry.
It's great.
We cannot accept just any travelers in these trying times. You'll have to
Well,
find
what's
somewhere
going-
else to spend the night.
Well,
I
what's
use one
going
of my
on?
tournament season. Reroll that.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
All
Have
right.
him re-roll it.
Yeah, that was a
Dude,
pretty
it's
good roll.
crazy.
He's using
It's crazy because I have a super high plus for deception.
Yeah, man. You rolled a 2. That's there's
Oh.
not much you can do with that.
4 more and a.
It does not change the response from the guard.
Can I use? Can I ask? Hey, what is going on? Because, like I said, we're just travelers. We're coming through caverns. We just need a place to stay,
Whoa!
and this was the town.
We're going through caverns. Shut the fuck up, man.
Says, interesting, but I'm sorry if you've had a long journey. And he furrows his brow a bit. He says, but we're on high alert ever since the Ashgard garrison was taken by the Kryn. We
Where
can't just
is
accept
that
anyone
evil?
into our gates.
It's fine, man. It's fine. We're good. We'll find somewhere to sleep. We'll find somewhere to camp. It's one more night. It's okay.
And as you start turning away, you hear another voice call out from the battlements. Damien, is that you? By the gods, it is! Oh, I haven't seen you in ages. Last I heard, you were studying at the Solstice Academy to become part of the Cerberus Assembly. I thought you had made it. I just saw your brother Nigel, not but a fortnight ago, training at Blade Garden. You see a man kind of more well outfitted than everyone else come up and says, It's okay. Open the gate. I know this man. And the first guard kind of looks a bit befuddled, but says, yes, Captain, right away. Open the gate. To which...
Do we know who he was talking to?
This sure as hell wasn't me.
You all look very, very confused. Somebody roll me an insight check.
Does anyone? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. First one to do it.
I'll do it. 17.
Hey.
So Altius, you know he's not talking to you. You gather it could be Humberto, but probably not. And then you notice that the way that the man had directed his comment was actually in Ken's direction. And so you actually kind of elbow Ken a little bit to prod him on.
Yeah, my assumption is I've never been here. This guy seems to kind of know what he's doing. So, yeah.
Yeah, and exactly. And the insight of Ken seems to be a little familiar with the Empire, and knowing that he has this kind of muddled, amnesiac past, you kind of nudge him with your elbow and kick him forward. As the portcullis is drawn open, and this gentleman walks forward in greeting. Ken, are you there?
Yeah, sorry. I
Okay,
kind of.
great.
Hello, good sir. We seek refuge. Ken says he wasn't really paying attention to what was going on.
He greeted you as Damien. He says, "Oh, have you been? And it's been a while since we've seen you and your brother, and you went to this
Yeah,
and Nigel and let him in, let him in."
Does that trigger anything in me, or am I kind of
make a wisdom save for me.
I'll be right back.
a 10?
You have no idea who this guy is. But you do sense that given the recent the recent memory relapse that you experienced, that this has something to do with your unknown past. But you have no idea what. You do not know who this is. Uh, and as he walks through, he says, "Oh, of course, we'll give you refuge. Oh, I would never deny an old friend." And he claps you on the shoulder and says, "How have you been?" He says, your brother didn't mention anything about you. What brings you all the way out here to the Rock Guard garrison? I assume it must be
Got out.
some official business, perhaps on behalf of the
Is
Cerberus
my
Assembly."
is my brother is my brother here?
Just, no, he is in Blade Garden. Last I heard, training our troops. He's
Huh.
one of the finest swordsmen I've ever met. He showed me
So
that
how do the party members react to hearing that my brother is training the enemy's troops? Is that do you guys like pick up on that at all, or is it kind of like just
yeah, I mean, you guys would be, yeah, I don't know. I mean, how do you guys react to this? This is very new information. I imagine quite confusing.
I'm gonna I'm gonna kind of look at him and say, okay. Well, we've had quite a journey, and we would love to
Is
just
growing. Yeah.
take a moment and then have the lay of the land so we can restock on some items.
Oh, absolutely. We would never deny someone of your status, of course. And just quickly, so we can close the gate again before any other riffraff gets through. And so you guys are able to open up the
Wink.
gate.
Man.
Yo.
And you guys are able to enter into the Rockguard garrison. And one of the gentlemen, the guy who had first questioned you, says, "Captain Hans, are you absolutely sure about this decision?" He says, of course, I've known this man all of my life." He says, stand down. And yeah, so you guys are welcomed in. And Captain Hans says, "No, I don't want to hold you up, but I am sure you are weary from your road. He says, your compatriot here," gesturing over to Altias, "looks especially covered in dirt. It must have been a dusty road. So I'm sure you'll be wanting for lodgings." He says, "Unfortunately, we don't have much in the way of hospitality here in the Rockguard garrison. Most of the visitors we get are military or dignitaries, and they stay within the garrisons. But there are a few inns and taverns around. Certainly the largest that I could recommend is the Rolling Rock. You'll be able to find it in this district. actually built close into the wall of the north face of the Ashguard Keeps, or the Ashkeeper Peaks. Uh, this is, once my shift's over, perhaps I'll meet you over there for a pint and we can catch up. Eh, Damien? That would be grand. He says, now, don't be causing...
Moral.
Sorry, what did you say?
So that would like nothing more, old friend.
Yes. Oh, don't be causing too much trouble until I get there.
Ha! What hit him? It's like two white guys going, or three white guys going to Vegas. Like, oh yeah, I hope Vegas is ready for us. Like,
Yeah.
drinking in your hotel and going to bed by 10. Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm going for. Intentionally, like.
So as soon as we are out of earshot at him, I look at our party members and I say, "We cannot stay there. We're gonna need to find somewhere else in town to stay so that he can't." Just I have no idea who that man is. Like this was, I guess, my disguise worked just incredibly, and I do like a little twirl with the disguise hat, and I think that this is fully. Like, this must have just been because of the disguise. Like, I don't know.
Turns, in my head, I hear that sound. It's like, what? And like little glimmering sparkles come up.
Yeah, so let's, I guess, let's go find a different place, maybe, to rest in.
Well, I'm curious what he said about the north face of the Ashkeeper Peaks. Do we know where that is?
Yeah, so,
or how close it is to the
so
place
as
we're trying to get into?
you enter here, there's kind of a main causeway here. As you see it looks like what you're seeing here on the map. There's a district here that you're in. There's scattered. It's mostly residential buildings. There's a couple of small eateries. There's not a lot in the way of mercantiles. There's not a lot of merchants here. Again, this is a fairly military outpost. There's a large training yard off to the south side. There is another gate that and another wall along this main path, and then to the north side of the Ashkeeper Peaks would be like up on the map over here.
Okay.
Can I do an investigation check to see if, for two things, to see if there's a merchant who is selling magical items that would adapt to me, and or someone who can help me with my problem?
So yeah, go ahead and roll an investigation check. So again, this is not very commercial. This is a military outpost. This is not a hub, like a military outpost on the borderlands. This is not a hub of commerce. There are some smaller temples dotted around to the various deities of the Empire, but they're more like rooms for people to go and pray. They're more like a chapel than they are like a temple. And you stick your head into a few, and there's just like one or two people kind of kneeling and praying, and you're like, "Hi, can anybody help me lift a curse?" And they're just they look at you like you have lobsters crawling out of your ears.
I kill him. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, I just had to explain numbers to my child.
Yeah. So it is becoming evening time. However, you guys have gained access to the Rockguard garrison. What do you wish to do?
Can we move sort of like around the border of it to kind of see if there's a obvious entry point, or maybe not obvious, but maybe what our options are?
Yeah. So you're looking.
Would you guys possibly want to meet that guy for that beer? Like,
Yes.
kind of post up and
I'm
wait
open.
for him and
Yeah,
see if we could get the keys off of him?
let's get him drunk and have him lead the way. I mean, you could even transform into him if we get him drunk enough.
He seems like he likes to talk, so I'm gonna look at Revan, our charming friend. Do you think that you could keep him talking about some old stories, kind of get some more information out of him? Because, and I'm just gonna come clean with like both of you guys at this point, if I haven't already been clear. I don't remember a large part of my past. I awoke back in this land and I began following the Luxon, and I've lived a blessed life since then and been happy with what I do, but there's a large portion of my life I do not remember or know what happened.
When you say
And
I
if the
kind of
women
asked.
could help us.
when you say the Luxon, I hiss a little bit, but then I also go, listen, getting people talking is my middle name, and I can pay for the bar tab.
So I kind of asked him like, well, he gave us a few clues that might help us not be too out there. He mentioned that you went to some kind of a school. I don't know if it was a wizard school or what he said. Did you guys catch? I imagine if I lived in this world, I would better recognize the name.
Well, you actually probably would not have heard of this place before.
Do I?
Roll a history check for me, but you may not because you are not
I'm
from
kind
this
of a
area.
recluse. Yeah. History. I have a 0 in history. 14.
Yeah. You. It was the something academy. He said the something
Whoever it was,
academy.
it must have been a good school because I
Uh,
am excellent in magic. And I freeze something nearby.
okay. So I didn't write it down. I was gonna say that might be a bit of a hint, but I was considering almost saying like, oh, we're geologists, and that's why I'm so fucking dirty. And ray of frost attack, nice.
What are you
And
attacking?
maybe you got hit on the head with a rock or something, and your memory's kind of shoddy sometimes. But maybe we get Humberto to like say like, hey, Damien just isn't the same since the accident where he got clonked pretty good by a
Oh
rock.
yeah.
But if you could tell us some of his old war stories, we'd love to hear more about him from before. And he's still a lovely guy, but I just think knowing somebody that really knew him, that would really, that might really bring him back. Can you do that for him, or can you show us some things that might remind him of where he was from?
Yeah, I don't even think we even have to let him know that I don't know. Like we should probably try and lead as little on as possible.
Okay.
Like let's just try and get him talking about it, and if we have to kind of hint towards that, we will.
Yeah.
But I'd like to mostly remain a mystery until we know more about what's going on.
Easy enough. Sounds like a plan. So can we
And
kind
then
of
we
make
kind
our
of
way
look
around and still kind of look
Yeah.
at the things just in case we need them as exits? I think it'd be nice to kind of look and if we can tell, like right now the walls are set up in a way that I assume that there's a wall like around like here that blocks the view. I just can't see the wall itself to know that that's what's there. So is that kind of like a big wall that separates the suburbs or whatever you call it?
Yeah, so you guys are in this district here, and there is, so we'll say you guys kind of walk around having this conversation, looking for, kind of shops and again, Humberto looking to relieve his curse. And again, when you come to one of these temples, any sort of a symbol that you can deface, you do. Humberto just like, you punch it or knock a stone out or push the sign over. Just kind of general vagrancy to the degree that you can. And yeah, where you guys are, there's like a walled-in district. There's the gate you came in, and then kind of directly across from it, there's another portcullis that leads to it was shouldered by watchtowers that leads to kind of another inner district of the garrison. And this is all kind of built into the Ashkeeper Peaks, so it slopes up from the gate you came in to this other gate. And let's say you guys can walk around this district here, and on the north side, like over here, you do see the Rolling Rock Brewery that was mentioned by Captain of the Guard Hans.
Is it near the Hard Rock Cafe?
The Hard Rock Cafe is actually next door.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, there's a lot of rock puns around here too, and gravel and stuff. And so, you particularly being an Earth Genasi, you get much mirth out of it. You see all of these puns, and they really hit home. And also think that perhaps being a geologist might be a nice cover. You're not sure.
Sounds good. So should I do an investigation check or anything as we kind of make our way around the wall? See if there's any, for example, ways to climb up or climb down.
Go ahead.
Any,
roll perception or investigation, either one.
Oh, can I roll it?
You can help. You can give him advantage.
24. Thanks for the advantage.
So again, you guys walking around this district, you give it kind of a thorough look. This is a very well fortified position. The only egress you really see is the gate between the towers there, the main gate. The wall itself is ramparted. You do notice that there are patrols that walk along the ramparts up and down. So if you were to try and, say, scale it using grappling hooks and climbing tools or something, you get the sense you would probably very quickly be discovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm up for going to the Rolling Rock.
Oh shit, I'm still muted. Sorry. I said, are we gonna get some information out of this guy, or are we gonna go meet? And you said we're going to the Rolling Rock. It sounded like you answered me. I didn't realize I was muted.
I think a good plan would be to get him drunk enough that he gives us information, and then possibly so drunk that he blacks out, and we take his look. Like you take on his image and lead us through.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Humberto can pay for the bar tab. That's not an issue. You guys will owe me a favor to my new god, though.
I owe no favors.
Captain
I serve
Hans.
one master, and I have my own coin. To the bar.
I look at Ken and cross my arms very sassily.
I am flaunting the symbol at you, but you can't tell because it's under the disguise self hat. So I'm showing it, and you can't see what I'm doing.
Am I rolling a perception to see if I see it?
Don't ruin my disguise.
Are you trying to hide this, Ken?
Not really. I just thought it'd be funny I just think it's funny if he thinks he's like, fuck you with the symbol, but you can't see it and I don't put two and two together. I mean, you can roll perception if you want to see it.
Flavor.
Yeah, roll sleight of hand and roll perception.
Alright. I see it.
Yeah, you see it.
I attack Ken. I don't have a choice.
I roll religion.
Oh, you do have a choice.
So actually, you do not. Ken is super stealthy.
Why did I roll stealth? I rolled religion. I'm being
Stealthy.
obnoxious about it.
Nobody noticed.
You know what?
It's a religion check.
I think this has the opposite effect. I think I'm like the divine light of the Luxon like is shining through.
I'll allow it. Yeah, you guys get into a bit of a tiff in the streets for a moment, but you're able to break it up before any guards are called.
To the tavern for exposition's sake.
So you guys make your way to the north side of the district, and it's pretty easy to find this place. It is the largest place of commerce, and as it is evening time, more people are kind of funneling in, and you are able, yeah. So you enter into the Rolling Rock Brewery here. Uh, this is a large, as I said, a large drinking establishment with like the long, like brew house style long tables, like the German style, like long tables, communal tables where various groups of people are sitting and drinking, and they're
Beer house.
yes, yeah, the beer house style. And
Can I look around for symbols of thieves' camp?
Absolutely.
So would it be a perception?
Yes. Roll
I'm
me a
gonna get a
perception.
bunch of beers.
16.
And
I'm
as
so
you
sorry.
are, so you guys
Okay.
approach the bar, get your drinks, and Humberto, you actually, as you're surveying the crowd, you actually do see someone who flashes a symbol at you that you recognize as a greeting in Thieves' Cant very quickly. It's actually a slight variation of Thieves' Cant, but you recognize this, and you flash back the appropriate response in Thieves' Cant, and a green dragonborn approaches you.
Does he have a tail or he doesn't have a
He
tail?
does not have a tail.
And I'm overly cautious of the ones who don't have a tail, correct?
No, you do not have a tail either.
Okay.
So yeah, the ones without tails are Ravenites. The ones with tails are the former like nobility of
I
Draconia.
buy. I
Is that like a Humberto only thing, or is that like common knowledge?
That is
Like among.
that is fairly common knowledge.
I
Well, that's like a
separate.
Dwendalian thing, right?
Yeah, it's like a yeah. Well, so the whole thing with Draconia. So Draconia was a city of Dragonborn, and the kind of like ruling elite had tails, and the slave class did not. Draconia was destroyed about 20 some odd years ago, when the Chroma Conclave ran amok across Exandria. Voragal, the White Dragon, destroyed the city of Draconia and was subsequently rooted out by Vox Machina, and that then led to a restructuring of the power structure in the ruins of Draconia, since the ruling class was now outnumbered by the slave class, the Ravenites, and the Ravenites have kind of established their own society in the ruins of Draconia now, with many of the tailed ruling elite, the Highborn Dragonborn, fleeing to seek refuge in either the Menagerie Coast or the Empire primarily.
So when they walk toward their guy, I grab a round of beers and I go toward my guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they approach, and you can all sit down at a table together. And as you sit down, they sit down, they nod. You must be Humberto. And these,
Yeah.
the Lost Luxon Lads. I've been given some important information to help you. And they're like looking over their shoulders very suspiciously. When somebody walks too closely, they pause their speech. They quickly slide something over the table to you.
It's normal conversation.
Don't look at these now. But these are blueprints to the headquarters here in the garrison. I know why you're here. These should help.
Are you gonna lift the fog of war?
Now, it's gonna be tough, but I think you, from what I hear, I think you guys are capable of accomplishing this mission. By the way, where's the tiger tabaxi? I heard there was one more of you.
He had a prior engagement. He went, I don't know. It was a whole thing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, he's a drunk.
Basically, he was like, my PUSSY hurts. Mm. Get it? 'Cause he's a cat. I laugh at my own joke.
Well,
In all seriousness, he's a tough, strong guy, and he just had to do something.
well, hopefully that doesn't make this any more difficult for you, but this is a challenging mission. Have you thought about how you're going to infiltrate the garrison headquarters? First, you'll have to get into the inner district. Then, you'll have to gain access to the headquarters itself. And from the intel I've been able to collect, the battle plans will be on the topmost floor.
So I'm gonna look at him and kind of be like, well, we appreciate this intel. Our path to the plan is being risked every second you stay here talking to us, friend.
I don't doubt that. We're all at risk all the time. Well, I won't.
Before
I mean, like we're literally supposed to meet somebody here, like any minute. I kind of look up and like look around.
before
Really?
he heads out, I Spartan handshake him.
Yeah.
Are you
Actually, I'm gonna look at him and say it may be best if you were to lend a helping hand, if you were to maybe stay in an alley out back for a bit in the future, and we may be able to use a hand acquiring means of entrance from a friend as we go around the back later.
I don't like to get my hands dirty normally. I am known as a jack of all trades, which is why I've left behind my slave name and assumed the name Jack. But one thing I don't do is get my hands dirty. And besides, I have other business to attend to in Talonstad. I am only here to pass along this information and to help guide you in your mission and gaining access to the fort and returning to the dynasty. Have you considered your exit strategy?
My tailless brother. Why don't we both went through the same path? Why don't you just help us? You're here anyway.
I have my orders, and I'm sure you understand, Humberto.
I understand more than anyone about orders, but listen, we are both of the tailless kind. We are both used, we are both spit on, we are both despised. Why not work to a better Draconia by helping me with this mission?
As you should know, I no longer work for Draconia. The Lens has higher ambitions.
Then do it. Do it based on our bloodline.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage. He's hard to sway.
Listen.
I'm just getting fully drunk in the background.
I'm gonna be like, listen, brother. When I pull him in for the Spartan handshake, I'm gonna be like, let's do this together. I get you're not here for Draconia, but at the end of the day, we are tailless dragonborn. We are a byproduct of Draconia. We need to do this together, and I want you to come help me.
Humberto, I think we've got it.
Is it roll?
The guy said no.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
Ha! Sucks to suck.
I serve a higher purpose now. And I hope you can understand.
I just give him the biggest hug ever.
Yeah.
And tell him that listen, I support your decision. Freedom is the big thing for us, and I'm happy that you're using it. If you ever need my help or need me and my crew, you can reach out to me and I'll be there.
I appreciate that, brother. Listen, if you're looking for me, my next mission lies in Talonstad. Beyond that, only the lens knows. And he as he departs, he gives you this signal. He takes his finger and he like puts it next to his eye and kind of drags it down the side of his cheek as he like nods and leaves you with these with the rolled up parchment. And here is what is in the parchment if you wish.
Oh yeah.
No.
Fog of War. Oh wait, is it somewhere else? And I kind of whisper to Humberto while you're getting that. I'm like, did he kind of give anybody else off kind of like a racist vibe? I kind of felt a little racism from this guy. Did you get that?
I do the eye symbol back to him.
Yep.
I look at Altius. I like dead seriously go. What's race? What?
Oh, sorry. Is
what?
it ancestry now? Have they changed it? And he's like, I'm pretty sure that's clearly offensive to my kind to be called being caught or not doing dirty-handed stuff. Like that's clearly he's saying something about me.
Do you want to fight him?
I pull.
I don't know, man. He gave us a pretty good gift, but sometimes people think that they're allies, but really, they're perpetuating this stuff, man.
I grab
at this point. I'm on my fourth beer, and I'm like ready to yeah, that's all right.
I try to stop it, but I whisper to both of them, and I'm like, guys, he was a slave with me, so I understand everything he just said. If you understand the history of Draconia, you won't fight him, but if you guys choose to, I'm going to go to the back of the bar, and you guys do whatever you want, but it's not a good move to do it while we're in enemy territory.
I agree. I just, just trying to see if it's just something I saw. That's cool. So where's your hoity-toity dude? Where's Hans? Captain Hans, your buddy.
So in the Discord, I dropped what the parchments contain. They are blueprints to a building. And yeah, and I don't know if
what
any
section?
of you guys have watched. It should be in the general. I don't know if you guys have seen Twin Peaks, but like the Bookhouse Boys thing. That was like the where they like put their like where they wink to each other kind of, but like they put their finger next to their eye and drag it down their cheek. That's the sign he made. that's like the same sort of thing. It's like the secret acknowledgement.
Apparently, this building is empty, guys. That should make it pretty easy to maneuver through.
So there's 3 floors. The first one is fairly empty. Did you guys get all the pictures?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
From
weird
the
they don't
bottom
store
being
it.
the most empty one, and there's the second one, the one that has like the 6 boxes, and then the
Yep.
top floor is the 3
floor,
boxes.
And then the 3rd floor. Yep. You guys
Okay.
got it.
Cool. That's
That's
nice.
dope.
All right, so do we meet with
Yeah,
this dude? Where's he
Ted's
at?
just looking at it confused, like not understanding that the blueprint is just the design of the building, not like what's actually in the building. Like they can't give us
Mm-hmm.
where all like the people are. He's just like, yeah, this is weird. Like there's not even any people there. Like, wow,
So,
it's gonna be
and
easy.
as you're sitting here, like looking at this, you hear a voice that says, "Ah, Damien, there you are!" As Hans starts to approach.
I
I
mean,
go
I
grab
immediately
Hans and say, "Ah, Hans, have a beer. Have a beer with me, my friend. I was just telling my other dear friend I had his back. Why not tell friends a time you had my back?
can I buy a
Tell
shot
us
of
the
Rumpleman's?
story."
Yes, you absolutely can buy a shot of Rumpelmans. They
Just
absolutely
just
have their
text the
name in the
Discord.
Empire.
Text the Discord whatever it costs me later, but I buy like 3 rounds of Rumples right off the gate.
Yeah, so some shots and Hans says, "Oh, this takes me back," and he tells some anecdote about when you were kids and the neighborhood bully, because he talks about how growing up Ken was always kind of scrawny and would even his younger brother could beat him up or best him in physical contests.
Can I punch Ken in the arm and and say, yeah, he is kind of scrawny.
Yeah, you can make an unarmed strike.
Alright, hang on, grab the beer. Like I kind of do it out of spite, but I am 100% gonna do it.
Yeah, make an
Oh.
unarmed strike.
So inventory, unarmed strike, roll. Just attack.
Yep. Oh,
24.
that hits. Roll damage.
What's my AC?
13.
How much does shield give me?
5.
Yeah, okay, I punch you back as hard as I can.
So I damage him for 4. And I as I hit him, I say pussy.
So
I full on punch you in the face because I am drunk and pissed. Is
yeah,
a 20 hit?
that hits Humberto. So roll
Yeah.
damage on Humberto. Can you take 4 damage? You take a nice bruise. And throw it right back at Humberto. You hit him like in the chest. He's fairly unfazed, but yeah, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. And
You don't have a lot of-
I laugh really hard and go, another round of Rumplemints. And I also can I do a perception check to see if this gentleman indulges in any of the local drugs?
cast away a frost from the Rumplemans to make it chilled.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you.
And I think I I rolled well.
Yeah. So Hans tells some anecdote about when he stood up for you against the neighborhood bully, and then as Humberto socks you, and then you punch him back. He's, "Oh, I see you've toughened up a bit," and then you chill the Rumpelman shots. He's, "Oh, and your magic has definitely improved. They must have taught you well at the Solstice Academy." I lost touch with you after you started studying there. You're, although I see your brother occasionally in training, I haven't heard much mention of you from your family. Are you following in your father's footsteps and part of the Cerberus Assembly? I know that they're very secretive and don't always get along with the righteous brand.
Can I do a history check to see if I remember any of these places?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Make a history check. So you would recall and as he says a lot of this and seeing his face, like, and him telling this anecdote, these deep-seated memories are starting to seep back into your consciousness. You're getting these flashes when he says certain names and places. You get these flashes of things, and yeah, the Solstice Academy is the place of arcane study in the capital of Rexentrum, and the Cerberus Assembly is a kind of political faction of mages that has much has a lot of power and influence, both politically and militarily. They kind of exist kind of in a tacit side-by-side relationship with the crown, kind of vying for control in some regards. But you're working with the crown, but you definitely, like, is there something specific that you'd like to know?
Can I laugh
Just
out
Cerberus
loud?
Assembly. If I remember like anything of my relationship with the Cerberus Assembly.
Yeah, so as he says this, you do get, as he's talking about the the Solstice Academy and the Assembly, and asking if that's where you've been, you do have this flash of a kind of a gaunt man with dark hair reaching his arm out to you, and saying, "Good job. Welcome to the Cerberus Assembly."
Yes, I cannot really speak of, assembly business, but I am involved, I will say. More drinks.
To which one says,
Can
Remember that time we caught you in that with that woman? Oh, good times.
to which Hans replies, "Which time and which women?"
can I
Yes, so many of the women and that man. Oh, or not that man. She looked like a man.
can I wrap my arm drunkenly around Ken to kind of help him remember more and say, "Come on, Ken, do it for the Luxon." And as I say it, my body cringes, but I'm like, "Remember, you got this," and I buy another round of shots.
Sure.
Are you being sneaky? Because they do not like the Luxon here.
Well, I think he whispered that into your ear, like, to try and inspire
Okay.
you. So, yeah, with another round of shots, yeah, so you get another round of shots, and you guys keep drinking, and Hans says, "Usually I don't like to drink this much, but when in the company of old friends, and I am off the clock." So I was gonna say, I was just have everybody make Constitution saves at this point.
Do you want me to do another one? I did one earlier too, but
No, I'll take that 14. You got that. Everybody make a
So
Constitution save.
save, so it's +2. Saving
my
throw.
whisper Altair's ear. See, this is the trick.
Oh, I'll be
You
right
you
back.
use the ray of frost to freeze some of the alcohol. And Altair's reminds me that alcohol doesn't freeze.
chill it though.
I also want to casually just bring up and be like, "Hey, would you be willing to show it? We'll wait for Sully to get back." But because I'm assuming we're all befriending this guy.
Let's try and get a short rest out of this drinking thing. So, because I only have 26 hit points, and he punched me in the face for 4. You're in the gut.
You got to take tough, my friend.
I don't think I get a feature because I'm 3 in wizard and 3 in fighter, or 2 in fighter.
Next time, if you go another.
Yeah, I don't think I'm far enough in either, but I got action surge as a fighter this time.
That's sweet.
So I'm gonna wait for Sully to get back because I don't want to meta, but I have a plan, boys. Also,
You can discuss the plan with us. It's fine.
I'm back,
so
sorry.
Sully, can I buy yet another round? And what is this guy's name again?
I was thinking earlier I'd be like trying to swap out some water because we need to be able to forge some shit and like get away with it. And
so actually, what happens here after that last round of shots, Altias and Humberto, you both actually have to evacuate. You both go running for the
windows, the back windows.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, I was trying to remember the medieval term for the latrines. Yeah, you guys go running for the latrines to evacuate. And Ken and Hans are left there, or Damien, should I say, are left there laughing at you two. And then it is just the two of you alone there for a moment. And Hans says, "So Damien, I have to ask, especially since I let you into the garrison under my voucher. Why are you here? You're here at the ass end of the Empire. I haven't seen you in years or heard of you. It's just very, very strange. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm glad to see you, but why here? Why now?"
So I look at him and I basically try and claim that everything that we've been like fighting against has been me. And I'm gonna say, oh yes, well if I'm being honest, we've been trying to establish a stronghold as we push over the border, and we've recently lost footing in one of our stronger bases, and I'm trying to honestly enjoy my time until I am on my way to take this base back. And considering some of the strength of the men we lost, it is quite possible that we are in for quite a fight to regain some of our footing. And I basically am trying to claim like we're going back to reclaim the one stronghold that we rescued the like shaman from.
Yeah. He says, yeah, that business at Fort Venture with Pelenost. I'd heard some unsavory things about Pelenost, but he certainly had a way of getting things done that you couldn't argue with. And I mean, if he's turning his proclivities towards goblinoids, who really cares, right? But oh yeah, I understand.
Apparently, the goblinoids began to care quite a great deal in the end.
I guess that's true. The filthy buggers, and you can see he's at this point, after several rounds of Rumplemans, he is getting somewhat intoxicated himself. So where do you plan to go from here? Are you gonna exit the garrison and go into the marsh, or can you even tell me what your plan is? Are you?
We will be going through the marsh for a bit. There is something of a, should I call it, a sunken treasure that we wish to search for, and I kind of allude at the thing we found with Altair, because I want to see if the Empire, if they have heard anything about like any of the what was the
Meteors.
thing we found in the swamp?
Meteor.
Yeah, if they've had any inkling towards like the meteor. You see, there is something. Although, truth be told, it's more of what I believe could be an incredibly powerful arcane focus from the swamp that we are going to try and look for.
Go ahead and roll persuasion with advantage.
Damn it! I have advantage.
You know, that's good enough because he's drunk. Nice. Oh,
Does it only show me the higher one?
2d20, yeah. There was a 5 and a 12. And you have plus 0.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, that marsh is a fucked up place, though. I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. And then he says, in order to get through the other gates, you're going to need... He hiccups a bit. You're going to need a recommendation, or perhaps would you like to meet with the marshal? I can put in a good word for you, and perhaps even get you an audience with
That would
the marshal
be
Velius.
wonderful. But if you could, how should I say, keep it on the DL. We are. How can I word this? Can I trust you, old friend?
Of course, you can trust me. And actually, at this point, he actually kind of quickly lunges across the table and pulls up your sleeve, and then quickly puts it back down. He goes, "I knew it. I thought so. You sly dog. You can't hide anything from me. You're Volstrucker, aren't you? I know what. I know one when I see one. I
I have
knew."
gone a different path than many of my family, and I although am serving the Cerberus, it is I'm trying to keep some of my actions out of the ears of my brother and father for the time being.
He says, "Of course, I understand." And when he rolls up your sleeve, you're and you would know this about yourself, but your arm is covered in these like kind of lightning patterned scars. You know, and he says, I completely understand. I mean, assembly business, even from other members of the assembly. He says, I can't.
Yes, well, some of
He
my
makes like a,
families believe me to be that weak boy that they could pick on so easily, and that is no longer the case.
he's like,
And I smile at him.
I wouldn't imagine. I wouldn't mess with a Volstrucker. And he makes like a zipper motion across his mouth. Not that they have zippers in Wildemount. I don't know. Maybe they do in Hupperduke. But he makes the lock and key, throws it away on his lips. I would never cross a Volstrucker. Not least of all, one of my oldest, closest friends. I think I need to
Thank
retire for the evening, but I am now the captain of this ward. So if you would like me
No.
to make that introduction, you could find me at the gate most days. And look at us. Hans, Captain Damien Volstrucker. Who would have thought?
Yes, my friend. I predator handshake him.
And for the second time tonight, Allies Predator handshake in the Rolling Rock Tavern at this table. And
And then I catapult him out the window. No.
Fireball.
No, I don't have spell sculpt like Voltar did.
Precisely.
I never realized how good that was.
Dude, yeah. And so with that, Hans stands up, takes a very large, flourishing bow, and he says, "Whatever I can do for you, my old friend, is I can give you a writ of passage. I can try to gain you audience with the marshal, but least of all, I can always give you my undying friendship." And he departs. And after he departs, your fellows return from their less than ceremonious evacuation.
I cast
So, how'd it go?
catapult at Revan of his vomit for punching me earlier. I catapult his vomit at his head.
So they vomited outside or in the latrines, but
Damn it, never mind.
you can
That's fair.
you can definitely catapult like an empty mug at him.
I'm gonna catapult a shotgun at Revan's head as he walks in.
Oh, totally. So
He has to make a DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
yeah, Humberto, make a dex save.
Or not Revan, Humberto, Jesus.
Same guy, different campaign.
I'm saving throw. Normal. At 11.
Roll damage. So that's on top of the punch. So Humberto, as you start to return to the table, a shot glass just comes flying out of nowhere and smashes you in the face, dealing 17 bludgeoning damage.
So I'm just gonna yell at him, "Stop punching your friends, dickhead. We're getting tired of it. Alright, we need to deal with this first shit.
Humberto, you're
I'm
at
tired of
legendary
you
health.
saying. Alright, let's run a rune. And then do I have any? I don't have any healing. Can I cast False
There, so
Life
you're
on somebody else? No?
No.
Alright, and then I buy us a room to go spend the night in. Take a long rest.
Yeah, so there is lodging, not
Version
in
of Gatorade in
the
this
Rolling
club that I
Rock,
can buy.
but yeah, there you are, especially with you guys wandering around. You would have been able to locate a place to get some lodgings. And really, it's more just like rented rooms
I
here.
disconnected.
There's not really like inns or hotels. It's more so like B&Bs. These are extra rooms that people have out to rent. And for the whole night's escapades, this will be 3 gold. So say a gold each for the drinks and the lodging. So you can mark that off.
Like, hey, Humberto, can you spot me a gold coin?
Yeah, I got you. Can I wake up in the morning before everyone and kind of sneak around to get a bearings?
Yeah, sure.
I
Like,
still
I just,
sleep standing up in the hotel room. I don't eat in bed.
Why don't we pick up with that next session? So we'll pick up on the morrow of the next day. Humberto would like to start doing some reconnaissance. And yeah, why don't we leave it at that for tonight and pick up there next time? What do you guys think about that?
I'm
Sounds
cool with
good.
that.
Yeah, I feel like there is
It works.
a lot that we got done here. A lot of history came up here.